Hello friends, today I'm going to talk about the process of socialization. Alright. So what is socialization? Socialization is basically learning how the individual learns the ways of the culture that he is in. Right? So what is culture? Culture refers to language, beliefs, values, norms, customs, the roles, the skills which combine to make the way of the life of the society. Okay, it includes everything. The way of the society, that's culture. So it includes languages, beliefs, values, norms, culture, customs, all that. For an individual to understand his culture, you should understand how the individual understands himself. An individual has something called identity. And identity is how the individual sees himself. He defines themselves and he also sees how other people see them and define them. Right? This is identity. So this identity develops in tandem with the culture. In that, there's a process called primary socialization. That is a socialization that happens in the early years of childhood, that is mainly dependent on the family. Within the family circle, the child learns how to behave, how to interact with people, how to make people smile, how to make people laugh, how to get things from people, done from people. So everything the child learns from the family initially. So that process is called primary socialization. And once the child goes out of the family, say to the school and other things, outside world, when the child, he or she sees the outside world, it learns certain things which are beyond the family circle. That is called secondary socialization. So as the child learns a lot of things, one of the main things is peer group. We learn a lot of things from peer group. So what is this peer group? Peer group is a group of people of similar age and status with whom a person mixes socially. Okay? Similar age. So we usually mingle with, friends, basically friends. We have a lot of friends, classmates, with whom we kind of mingle. What is this thing called status? We always talk of he's of high status, he's of low status, and all that. So what is this called status? Status refers to individuals or a group's social standing in the eyes of others. Okay. In the eyes of others, how do I look? That is called status. And another thing we should look at is the consumer goods. As a child or a person grows, he starts using the things from the world, like say food, clothes, television, DVD player, iPod. These are all some sort of toys we are playing with all the time. Children have small toys, then adults have big toys. And these all define us, right? So to understand this thing called identity, we have to understand what influences how I come to see and define myself. So how I see myself, how others influence the way I see and define myself. Now others are influencing the way I see myself. And how do I influence how others see? இப்போ நான் இருக்கேன், மற்றவங்க என்னை எப்படி பார்க்குறாங்கன்றது என்னோட நடவடிக்கையில் இருக்கு. மற்றவங்க எப்படி நடந்துக்கிறாங்கன்றதை வச்சு தான் நான் என்ன எப்படி பார்க்குறேன்றது நம்ம முடிவு பண்ண முடியும். சரியா? ஸோ இதெல்லாம் ஒரு காம்ப்ளெக்ஸ் சர்க்கிள். ஸோ ஹவு த சொசைட்டி பிஹேவ்ஸ், ஹவு ஐ பிஹேவ், இதெல்லாம் சேர்ந்து தான் தேர் சம்திங் கால் ஐடென்டிட்டி அண்ட் த சோஷியலைசேஷன் ஃபார்ம்ஸ். A lot of things influence this formation of identity. One is mass media. We are ruled by mass media. So I say I'm a big fan of Rajinikanth, and then so I think whatever he does is right. Or you are a big fan of say Vijay, and then you think whatever Vijay does. So mass media, heroes, or everything, political leaders, we follow them blindly, and then all those things. Then sexual preferences. Say I'm a heterosexual, then I like women. So I have this identity, I'm a straight. There will be another person who say gay, and then he gets attracted to say men. A guy gets attracted to men, then his identity would be I'm a gay. Say this another person who is a transgender, who is basically a male, but he feels physically, but psychologically say he feels like a female. He feels trapped inside a male body. Then we call that a transgender. So these kind of identities are forming, or sometimes identities form from country. I am an Indian, or say I'm an English, I'm a British, I'm an Australian, like that, etc., etc. The goods that I buy, I'm a Maruti guy, I'm an iPhone guy, I'm an Apple guy. I always buy only Apple products. I'm a Samsung guy, etc., etc., etc. Whatever. I'm a Levi's jeans guy, or I'm a whatever. I'm a Saravana stores guy. நான் எப்பயுமே அங்கே தாங்க வாங்குவேன், வேறு எங்கேயுமே வாங்க மாட்டேன். The things that we buy, that defines us. We get attached to them, and நான் எப்பயுமே பார்க்கர் பென் தான் யூஸ் பண்ணுவேன். Something like that. You get attached to those brands and things and all that. Family defines us. Another thing, how we start identifying or defining ourselves is our family. What kind of family we come from, how our parents tutor us, what they teach us, what our relatives teach us, what our siblings teach us. Next is friends. What they teach us. And the leisure activities that you do. You may be listening to music, or you're watching movies, or you're watching cartoons, or you're reading books. So all this groom you. So that forms your identity. So I am a singer, I am a YouTuber, I am a Instagrammer, or whatever. I am a cricketer, I'm a carom board player. All this we form from a leisure. I'm a Harry Potter fan. So these things, these kind of identities we form. Occupation, what job you do. So I'm a doctor, so I am a psychiatrist, I'm a dentist, I'm a etc., etc. I'm an engineer, I'm a software engineer, I'm a actor, I'm a politician, etc., etc. Okay. And your income, so what kind of social class you are. I'm a rich guy, I'm a billionaire, I'm a millionaire, I'm a pauper, I'm a poor fellow, I live below the poverty line, I'm whatever. So the social class and the income has a lot to do with your identity. Do you help? Okay, I'm physically good, I'm physically able-bodied. No, I have a disability. Then so there's somebody who says, no, I have a disability, I have physically handicapped, I'm visually handicapped, I'm hearing impaired, I'm mentally handicapped, etc., etc. All this will determine how you identify yourself. That's how you form your own identity. Your education. I'm a graduate, I'm a Harvard student, I'm an engineer from Anna University, I'm an IIT guy. I studied in Madras Medical College. So it all that gives you some kind of a pride, because your education, the institute, the college that you study, the university, and your age. I'm an old man, I'm a middle-aged man, I'm an old guy, I'm a youth, I'm a 2K kid, I'm a say a 90s kids, or I'm a 70s kid, etc., etc. Your age gives you some kind of an identity. Now I'm an uncle, now I'm an auntie, now I'm a tata, now I'm a patti, now, etc., etc. The gender, that gives you an identity. I'm a male, so that's the way I'm going to behave. She's a female, you're a female, or I am a female, and that's the way I'm supposed to be. I have to be gentle, I have to be this way, I have to be. Okay. And the region, which kind of region you come. I'm an Indian or whatever. I'm a Tamilian or a Dravidian. I'm a North Indian. I'm a whatever, African. And religion. I'm a Hindu, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Jain, so all these things again form your identity. Again, your ethnicity. I'm an Asian, I'm a black. This is how you form your identity. Okay. And there are certain expectations about certain roles in the society. For example, there's a police guy, then I want him to be very honest, law-abiding and all that, right? Or there's a teacher, then I want him to be a role model. He should be a perfect guy, right? Certain expectations from the society. And the same person plays multiple roles. For example, a woman at one place is a mother, and another place she's a wife, in another place she is a worker. She's working in an office, and she's a sister to somebody. And there is sometimes called role conflict. The conflict that arises between the successful performance of two roles. For example, the common example is the mothering. The woman has to be a mother, at the same time she has to be a worker. These two roles will conflict. How I can fulfill both the roles, how I can work at this perfectly and at the same time be a mother. நான் எப்படி ஒரு நல்ல அம்மாவும் இருக்க முடியும், நல்ல ஒரு வேலையும் செய்ய முடியும், ரெண்டுமே நல்லா செய்ய முடியாது. That's why we had all those housewives and all that, we had the classical role of woman being only taking care of children at home and all that. So, and then we should understand values, where these values comes from. What is value? A value is an idea or a belief. What is right, what is wrong. Okay, and that comes from, that could be like respect for human life, privacy, respect for private property, marriage, money, success. So all these have certain values, and there are things for certain legal rules. If you not follow the legal rules, the police will come and take action. You may be taken to court, then you may be taken to prison. For example, you do murder, okay, in a public place, then obviously then you will be taken to the court and you will be penalized and all that. Okay. So norms is an acceptable behavior. What is an acceptable behavior? It's much more specific. Like say, when you come inside a room, you have to knock the door and come. Okay, and you should not drink and drive. These are all certain norms we expect in the society. But when we use the word custom, it's a norms which have been present for a long time. For example, lighting lamps for Diwali, or bursting crackers for Diwali, or say keeping pongal in a pot, mud pot. பொங்கல்னா பானையில் தான் வைக்கணும் இல்லையா? யார் சொன்னா? வழியாக காலமாக இது நமக்கு தெரியாது. யார் சொன்னால் எப்படி வந்துச்சுன்னா நம்மளுக்கு தெரியாது. ஆனால் நம்ம இதை செஞ்சிட்ருக்கோம். Something like that. இது கலாச்சாரம். This is a custom or some kind of ritual. விளக்கு வைக்கணும். So many customs are there. So identity comes from how individuals define themselves and how others see and define them. One is how we define ourselves. Other thing is how others are defining us. Both these things join to form identity. Values and norms are learned. Okay, we are learning them from various generations. It passes from one generation to another. We are passing that. Okay, but it differs between societies. It's in an African culture, certain things are accepted. In India, certain things are accepted. In Britain, certain things are accepted. Okay. So this is how this socialization process happens. With that, I'll finish today's, I will say possibly lecture on socialization. Go to a song. Raja